Hello, good populace, and welcome to another exciting episode of Ask the Knights Live. This is actually a very special episode we have, which is Ask the Squires, where we're going to be delving into the minds of two very interesting squires and my good friends. Let's go ahead and welcome them, and we're going to welcome Lady Vigdis and Lordship Thohall. Before we begin, welcome everybody who's watching. Yep, wave hi, say hi to your
Hi.
friends, and
Hello.
don't forget to go ahead and put those questions in the comments. And when you put your questions in the comments, don't forget to add your name and where you're from so that we can give you guys a shout out. But you know what? Let's go ahead and kick this off with our first question. Just say your name, where you're from, and how long you've been belted as a squire. And as always, ladies first.
Um, my name is Lady Vigdis, and I am from the Barony of Bronzehelm, which is in Billings, Montana, in Artemisia. Oh gosh, I've been squired for 4 years, 18-ish, give or take. Squired for 3, I guess, man-at-arms for the first year. Ish. Squired to Sir Killian Calway, also of Bronzehelm from Artemisia.
The Baron of Bronzehelm.
Oh, he is also the Baron right now. Sorry. My bad, Killian.
I am Lordship Thohall the Hunter. I am also from Bronzehelm here in wonderful Billings, Montana. I have been playing for about 8 years, maybe going on 9. I have been squired to the magnificent Duke Damon Macmillan of Artemisia. I've been squired to him 5 or 6 years now, I would say.
Viking, I can't count.
Sorry. Yeah, we're Vikings. We can't count. Sorry. Yeah.
We're married, by the way.
Yes.
So we are in the same rooms together. We didn't think to use 2 computers, so you're stuck with us. So we'll see how this goes.
That and Vikings and technology just don't work.
That's all right. So it's a very interesting dynamic that you have because you are married, a couple squires to 2 different knights.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and talk about your knights a little bit. And let's start with Thohall. Tell us about your knight. Who is your knight?
Well, like I said, Duke Damon Macmillan. He has been in the FCA a long time. As he liked to put it, he found this when he was in his 20s. And he's, please don't hit me for this, Damon. I love you. But he has definitely been around in the society for a while.
So it's not me that's going to get hit this time.
Yep. She likes to get hit a lot.
Yeah.
And Damon, it was his 3rd crown that he had won here in Billings when we were still just a shire. We were hosting crown tournament here. After the tournament, he approached me and asked me if I would consider taking a man-at-arms belt from him. And obviously I had to say yes. So, and it has been a crazy journey ever since.
Hey, Dana.
Hi, Dana.
Okay. So my knight, again, is Sir Killian Calway, the Baron of Bronzehelm. Hi, Killian. Maybe you're out there. I don't know. He's currently our Baron. What about him? He's a dirty lefty, and he hits really hard.
Effin hates lefties.
Dude, I'm telling you, I love my knight. I love him to death.
Of Satan.
Dirty
Spawn of
lefties.
Satan, he says.
Yes. I don't know. What else about him?
He was also, before he became a knight, was belted to Duke Damon as well.
Oh, yeah, huh? Yep. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Honestly, if you get a chance to fight him, you should. Just know that he hits really hard. but it's okay. But he does it with love, so it's okay.
Just block your ribs.
Yeah.
And that leg. That right leg.
Yeah. Don't forget the ass, okay? Because ass wraps are a real thing with him.
So I'm kind of curious, Thohall, were you squired to Daemon when Killian was squired to Daemon?
No. My very first event in the SCA was actually Sir Killian's knighting. And that was almost a year before Daemon had approached me about becoming a man-at-arms and then eventually a squire. And it was really cool to see. I hate to admit this, but I actually came from a Amguard background. I did that on and off for a few years. Before that, it was MMA. Kind of did that and just really, really love the combat sports. So when random chance meeting outside of one of the local dive bars here in town, ran into Duke Daemon's lady and Sir Killian's lady, and basically Sir Killian's lady called me out and said, when was I going to put my big boy pants on and come play with the big boys?
So yes.
There was also some colorful language in it, but I was like, okay, I'll see you at your next practice. And so I showed up at the next practice and kind of fell in love. I was kind of hesitant at first because, Amguarders, they have such a huge negativity towards the SCA.
And no headshots. Absolutely no headshots.
Yep, no headshots, period Nazis, things like that. And so I was kind of like, okay. Then I got there and found out that it was absolutely none of those things that they had said, and really fell in love with it, of the physicality of it, the honor, the chivalry, and just, you mean I can like full on hit somebody? All right, let's do this. So put some borrowed some loaner gear from people, got strapped into some stuff that didn't fit, like everybody's startup story, and went out there and got my butt handed to me over and over and over again, but just fell in love with it. Came back a couple of weeks later. They had all gone to an event called Uprising. They come back and they're like, you have to go to this next event with us. Killian's getting knighted. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, I'll be there. And have never looked back.
I love how that question just immediately bled directly into our next question, which was, how did you get started in the SCA? I love that.
Yeah.
So, Vigdis, how did you get started in the SCA?
Ooh, I know this one. It was me.
I met a boy. We started dating couple weeks, maybe a month into it. He says, so I have to tell you, I do this thing. And he turns on, the video, The Dream. Sure, probably most of us have seen that. Okay, so he turns that on. Yeah, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker, why are we not doing this right now? I'm like, seriously, let's go get armor right now. And he's like, no, it's 10 o'clock at night, sweetheart. We cannot do that. Well, so kind of the same. He started taking me to fighter practice. Fell in love with it right away. And it's kind of been history ever since. I got to hit Killian in the head. Like, he stood there and just let it happen. I will forever remember that day because it doesn't happen very often anymore. So, right? Exactly. These guys just dragging us in here. Bunch of Neanderthals. Same thing. Started going to practice, got put in a bunch of random crap armor that didn't fit, and was totally hooked.
Story of the newbie.
Yep. The very first person that I fought was Sir Killian, again, my knight. And I only tell this story because Thohall loves it, because I'm an idiot. So here I am. It's been a couple months, And I'm so excited I finally get to start hitting people. And they're like, okay, we're going to put you with Killian. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. I really like this guy. Let's do it. So we line up and he takes like half a step towards me and like brings his shoulder back. I scream, ow, and I run away. And that was my very first fight in the SCA. So.
Yep. Literally just kind of took a step forward. He motioned a shot 5 feet away from her, and she backs up and turtles up and just goes, ow!
Yeah.
And he just stopped and looked at her sideways, and we're all laughing on the sidelines. And he's like, I didn't even hit you yet.
He's like, I didn't even swing.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mark my surprise when I actually did get hit for the first time and it actually kind of hurt. So, you know.
Was it by Killian?
Probably. Who knows?
It was either Killian or Damon. Sir Killian, Sir Damon, Sir Giovanni, they were all masters on us newcomers of the patented ass wrap. So for the first like 3 or 4 practices, and this was with both of us, it was just, you know, ass wrap, and it's just like, oh man.
I do have to say they weren't that bad though. Like, I mean, they were fighting us at like, I don't know, when I first started, probably like a 0.25, really, like, let's be honest. Okay. Yeah. And so, I mean, they definitely got me with a few ass wraps. There was definitely a few bruises, but like, considering how hard we go now, like it was nothing, you know? So they were super nice about it, I guess. As nice as you can be when you're hitting your friends with sticks. So yeah, have been hooked ever since. My first event was the investiture of Bronsholm when we became a barony. So that was a trip. Busy day that day, but never looked back once and loved every second of it.
Thohall, is there anything that you wanted to add to your little origin story before we moved on?
No, that's pretty much covers it. I mean, like I said, I went to a practice, got hooked, and have never looked back.
All right. Well, Vigdis, we're going to start with you on the next question. What do you think is your biggest hurdle as an unbelt?
Oh, no. There's so many. Oh, gosh. My biggest hurdle right now that I am dealing with, I guess, currently, because again, there's been a lot of hurdles, is more like mental. Once a practice. Hi, Damon, love you.
Hi, Pa.
Right. Has really been like mental. Like I struggle with some confidence issues sometimes. So, you know, that's been a big one here lately. And some health issues. You can hear me coughing a little bit. I do apologize. I've had some, I don't know, health problems, whatevs. So that's been a little bit of a setback, but really it's just, to me, it's just my confidence has been one of my biggest setbacks. Yeah. And getting in the headspace for tourneys has been a rough one that we've been working on. And so mental stuff.
It's always the biggest hurdle, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, seriously.
Is right in here, your worst enemy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. It's terrible.
Thohall, your turn.
Oh man. You gotta ask me the tough questions, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not fun unless you're on the spot.
Right. You know, when I was first starting out, you know, some of my biggest hurdles was like power generation, resetting my sword, not using my arm, not doing the stupid little flick thing that I used to do with my off heads. I still do it every now and again. And then there's still a couple of people that have got some mansions up inside my head, you know, but I'm in the process of evicting them and, you know, working on that. And then I would honestly say part of my biggest hurdles too, that's been a real big contributing factor, has been my own body. Some of you guys that know me from in the kingdom, 2 years ago I had shoulder surgery, and then just last year I actually broke my ankle at work, and had to have surgery and have 2 pins put in my ankle. So yeah, as soon as I get back from something, boom, that Mack truck just comes out of nowhere called life and kind of hits me. So that definitely does not help with the mental game. I know Duke Sean has done a couple of videos about that. But
That's funny.
You know, he's done a couple of videos about, you know, coming back in the mental space from injuries and things like that. And those are some things that helped me when I was finally cleared to fight again, things like that. And so right now, I would say I've been back on the field 6-7 months, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
From my ankle. Basically, as soon as I was cleared, I strapped on armor and I went out there and I'm like, okay, let's go slow, and we'll start easing into it. And so that's been kind of my biggest thing right now, is trying to get back to where I was, or at least close. I'll never be exactly back where I was, but definitely trying to get closer and closer with each practice and event that we go to. So
yeah. Well, I want to say it was our last show. One of the nights that we had made a comment that really stuck with me, was that we as fighters have an expiration date, and it's important that we get out there now and try to achieve what we can before that expiration date comes up.
Oh, absolutely.
That's you know, that's pretty that hits pretty hard, you know.
Yeah.
Especially being, you know, as fat as I am.
Hey man, cookies are a real thing. Midnight bacon is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on the midnight bacon.
Right?
Oh, that's right, Sir Gellis. That's actually Effin's night. And actually, you had mentioned some people who have mansions in your head. So we're gonna Thohall. So we're gonna start with you on our next question. Who is your boogeyman?
Oh man, that's like releasing.
Right?
It's like giving the enemy information. That's like using your turn signal, man. There's a few nights that are definitely in my head, whether I realize it or not. I will name drop Sir Killian. There for the longest while, he could not. His favorite move as being a lefty is getting you with that off head.
Oh yeah.
It is like a bread and butter shot for them, especially with a wrap shot too. And there for the longest time, when I first started, he just had it all day long. And then as my skill increased, things like that, we kind of went down. Okay, I've got that block now. Oh, okay, there's the motion. I see it. I got it blocked. Then, yep, remote. Absolutely. You know, and so then it got to the point where me and him were trading elbow shots and rib shots. And it kind of got into my head of, oh crap, this is gonna hurt. And that was my thing. I'm like, I don't want to get hurt. So here, I would say, a couple of weeks ago, we were at a practice. I did not have any of my gear with me, so I decided to just do slow work for the day. And he was always talking about this particular block. And I'm like, all right, nope, today's the day. We've been talking about it for months, a year, maybe more. You're going to show me this block. And so we just practiced it and practiced it and practiced it. I went to Sir Magnus, throw this shot. Okay, blocked. Okay. Duke Damon, throw this shot on me. Okay. Okay. There's the block. And that really helped. So now instead of having a mansion, he's maybe got a really crappy rundown 1-bedroom condo. So in fact, when we fought in the last 2 tournaments, I actually was able to get that block that he taught me, and get the kill over him. So it was kind of nice, and he's, proud papa moment. He's just like, haha, I taught him that. Sorry, Sir Till. He was first one I blocked. Used that against in a practice. He threw that shot. He motioned. He was coming right here, and just got that block and managed to get him killed. So it was nice.
All right, Vigdis.
All right. Well, my boogeyman, and this is where our relationship becomes really fun, y'all. My boogeyman is this guy right here, actually. So he makes my girl brain is what I call it, panic every time, every stinking time. Yeah. So he's my husband. He's supposed to be my protector. Supposed to be my rock. So when we face off, my little instincts go, this isn't right, run away. So that's been a hurdle, actually, because we tend to get put into the same pool a lot in tournaments. And I actually deal with him better in tournaments, I think, than I do in practice. I don't know what it is, but that kind of comes with, I think, the fact that I've been working on my tournament brain so much lately. I'm able to kind of slightly, just a little tiny bit, turn that off tiny bit. But yeah, I hate fighting. I do. I hate it. I really do. I see that guy across the field from me and I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm going to go cry in my little corner over here. You guys have fun the rest of the day. See ya. Yeah. And it's not like he's ever hurt me. Not that I ever hurt him. It's just my brain spazzing out. Other than that, oh gosh, I'm sure tons of people have real estate in my head.
She just doesn't even realize it.
Yeah.
She's just like, let's fight, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
Too new.
Right. I tend to giggle a lot while I fight. So it's hard to tell who has real estate because I'm too busy laughing at usually myself for being stupid. But I think, I don't know. I feel like I'm the opposite. I love trying to be.
It's great couples therapy.
It is great couples therapy.
Free.
Yes.
That is the weirdest thing because me and her love to beat the crap out of each other. So I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I'd love to beat the crap out of him. Don't get me wrong. There are days. Usually though, I feel like I'd rather just smother him in his sleep, and maybe he won't fight back.
That's cheating.
Totally.
I throw flat snaps in my sleep.
He does.
Oh,
So,
okay. I get it. Okay.
Yeah,
it's so
no,
ingrained. You're just like flat snap.
And you're like, wake up. Your body's just like, danger. Bam!
That's a real thing. Yeah. So he's probably the worst and the most prevalent. And like I said, I feel like it's because I don't know, whatever little piece inside of me goes, this is a person that shouldn't be hitting you right now. Run away. But I know, I'm sure tons of people have room in my head, like Killian, because I'm always afraid my ribs are going to probably be on the other side of my body when he's done with me. And I say that again, Killian, with all the love in my heart. I do. I really love you. But you hurt. Damon probably has some headspace up there. Oh my gosh. I don't know. If I really sit and think about it, I really do think that probably just about everyone I fight has a little bit of real estate up there. Maybe that's why my fighter brain sucks. It's got too many other people rattling around in there.
Maybe you should definitely try what Effin, our tech guy, does. He sings F is for friends.
I love it.
I don't do that anymore. I used to. Don't call me out like that, John.
Oh, I'm definitely throwing you under the bus for that. Actually, that brings us into our next question. Are there any difficulties when working together at practices? And let's start off with you. If there's anything else aside from, being afraid to fight your significant other. Well, maybe not afraid, but just kind of working through that. That instinct.
That's a tough one. Probably the biggest difficulty is I don't listen. There you go. That way he doesn't have to say it. I totally will. And
Do they ever?
No. Let's be honest. No.
I know I'm going to get so much flack for it. I know I am.
Dana, you can totally hit him for me. I don't mind.
I have no doubt I'm going to get beat so hard after this, but that's okay.
I don't know. I feel like most of our difficulties come from me, truthfully, because I don't listen and I'm kind of stubborn.
Or when you try to turn your knob up when you're not there.
And sometimes I don't like fighting him, so I just go like batshit crazy and I just and it makes no sense and there's no real rhyme or reason to the fighting. I'm just freaking out. So yeah, mostly me is the difficulty.
Honestly, there hasn't. I don't think there's ever. She may think that there is, but there really hasn't been very many difficulties. So luckily, I've been around. Our knights here locally a little bit longer than she has. So I've picked up on that. Duke Damon's speech. I've picked up on that Sir Killian speech.
Does Sir Killian have a speech?
Yes, he does. It's not always understandable, but so when people try to explain things to her, and I can see her going over there, I have no idea what you're actually talking to me about. Like, I really don't understand. I can see that, pick up on it, and be like, okay, take this, translate it, spit it back out to Cheyenne speak, and then she kind of gets it. And then say, Sir Killian will say, do this. And she's like, I don't know how. Duke Damon comes over, says, do it this way. And then I'm standing over there going, okay, they're both saying the same thing, two different languages. Let's stick them together, translate for Cheyenne, and garble.
Voila.
And then usually the light bulb clicks on, and there she is. Yeah. So
that's fair. I accept that.
And what about for you? Do you have are there any specific difficulties that you have while training?
So a long time ago, when I put her in armor, one of the things we both agreed upon that no matter what happened at practice or at an event or in a tournament, that stayed there. And then when we're done with it, we're done with it. You know, we may talk about our fights and things like that, but we leave any kind of animosity or resentment or anything like that. We try to leave that back on the field when we come off.
And that's been a super important rule for us. Just for anyone else out there who has couples or, you know, good friends or whatever, leaving it out on the field was super important because we are ridiculously competitive.
Yes.
Both of us. So
there was a crown tournament here about a year ago that we went. Was it a year ago? Yeah, it was about a year ago now.
Depends on what you're talking about.
The one where I sniped you.
Oh God, you jerk.
See?
Yeah.
So we intentionally left each other at the end of the pool, for last of the pool. We fight each other a lot. We kind of know, and we watch each other so closely that we can anticipate, kind of guess what we're going to do. And so she was lined up against me. We exchanged a few shots, some blocks. She took a step back. I took a step back. We went to go re-engage. She went to my left. I took half a step to my right and a quick just off head right into the eye socket.
Oh
yeah. She's like, "You sniped me, you bastard!" Right on the middle of the field.
I know, and I
just
giggling
threw
the
her
whole
hands
time.
up, and we're both just laughing. And
Yeah.
you know, we gave each other armor kisses. We just kind of headbutted each other, and then we both walked off the field giggling at each other. So
yeah,
armor kisses. I love that.
You bastard.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to protect yourself at all times, right? That's MMA 101.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, we are at the 30-minute mark, so I think we're gonna go ahead and start with some viewer questions. There was one I had over here. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody is talking to me. Oh yes, the one from Rahmut. I lost it. How competitive are you off the fighting field with your arts and sciences?
So
we're not competitive against each other. He has his stuff.
Well, in fighting we are.
Well, yeah,
in fighting we're
arts,
very competitive. In arts,
not
we
really.
both have different mediums that we're really good at.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting the hang of the sewing, as you can see from our pretty garb. I think that's part of the reason why she's coughing so much is because this was fighting garb and it's been sitting in the car for a week and a half now. Yeah. So, and she does scrolls and she's trying to get into tablet weaving. She's trying to do 101 different things. I couldn't tell you how many times Yep. I couldn't tell you how many times I've had to be like, all right, get in the car. We're going to Home Depot. We're buying storage containers so you can contain your crap.
We're only at like 4 or 5, okay, and that's not counting the totes.
Big ones, and the 4 or 5 totes that are downstairs of fabric.
Leave my totes alone.
And my medium is leather. I enjoy making stuff out of leather. I made some leather armor, things like that. Doing different things. Like I've made a bunch of stuff for my knight. In fact, for Sir Magnus, we had been talking for years, and I mean years, about getting him into new armor. The armor piece that he had was, say, 20 years old before he even got into the SCA and decided to do armored fighting. So the week before, because that was when I had everything, I was putting in, 10 to 12 hour days at work and then coming home and spending 8 hours a night on this project. Yeah.
Right.
Love you, Fia. Yeah, so spending a bunch of hours at night. I had her Squire brother come over and help a few times. And we basically made him a brand new set of armor for his as a knighting gift to him.
In like
That was
a week.
In a
absolute
week.
beautiful
About a week.
piece too.
Yeah.
I remember that.
In fact, he's asked me to get it all cleaned up and everything, so I'm gonna start getting that cleaned up here this week.
I'm not helping this time.
Different mediums. So
I do not like leather work. Bless his heart because he can do it. It hurts my hands, man. I like mediums that my hands only cramp. They don't ache.
yeah, and I just got a propane forge, and so
Oh, nice.
here
Okay.
2 weeks ago. So I've been,
Playing
out
that.
there playing with that, trying to figure some things out, and really excited for that. Because I'm all about those cool little trinkets.
Love trinkets.
That's one thing I love is having a story behind something. Before the show, I told you the story about my mug. And those really mean a lot to me. So I want to make these little trinkets and things to give to people, or even give to the Baron and Baroness or their Majesties for largesse, because they're going to have a story behind them, and they'll continue with the story. So
Yeah, so we're not very competitive with each other, at least in the arts. We just totally different
Okay.
mediums. But
Well, that's
it's
fair.
actually worked. Yeah, it's actually worked well on a couple things because we were able to work together on them. Like Magnus's armor, I did the fine gold work on some of the stuff for him.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, let's see. What's our next viewer question? Actually, I think this one was actually from Effin. So, what kind of pranks have you played on your knights, and should they be worried and watch out?
my knight, no.
No.
Her knight, on the other hand, you should tell them the Barely story.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't necessarily play pranks on my knight, but as you can tell, I talk a fair amount of shit. That's my love language. He knows that. It's okay. I promise. No ill will. So I had just started. I was not even in armor yet. And
Just got a helmet.
I had just got a helmet. Duke Damon had one that was too small for him, I think, so I bought it off of him. And I'd asked Sir Killian, I was like, hey, I finally have a helmet. Yeah, she knows what's up. I was like, so I finally have a helmet. Killian, would you help me to pad it? I have no idea what I'm doing. And he's like, yeah, sure, just pick a knight. And I was like, I've asked you a couple times, like, are you sure you want to do this? Because, like, I can figure it out. And he's like, no, just pick a knight. I'll make any knight work. And then he kind of pauses and he goes, knight? I'm a knight. And I, without even skipping a beat, I scoff. Barely. Oh, no. And I totally thought I was going to get kicked out of the SCA forever.
Whole patio. We were just at a mundane thing, and the whole patio, everybody out there just went, oh.
Yeah, so I hadn't been around a whole lot, so I really did. I thought I had essentially dug my grave and was done with this really cool thing before I even really got started. Luckily, he's somewhat similar to myself and belted me instead.
Honestly,
So-
they're like two peas in a pod with their sarcasticness and their quick wits. And there's been a lot of times where we just kind of sit back and let the two of them go back and forth with each other. And we're just like, God, they're like the same person. And then we're just like, oh man, what have we done?
Yeah. So yeah, no, haven't really played pranks on him, but yeah, we talk a little bit of shit.
So I'm actually going to do a preface question before I ask this next question. Did you pursue your knight, or did your knight approach you?
I'm going to start this one, I guess. So, again, the first person I ever got to hit in the head with a stick was Killian. The first person I ever fought was Sir Killian. The first person, we went to a Halloween party to meet all these crazy people that do this crazy thing with him. And essentially, Sir Killian and I sat there and talked shit about him the whole night. Because remember, that's my love language, y'all. So I think the very first practice I went to when I got to hit Killian, I looked at Thohall and I said, that dude, that's who I want as my knight. And he's like, okay, cool story, bro. Whatever. So technically I did not pursue him. He technically, I mean, I never really asked him.
You kind of targeted him pretty much.
I definitely targeted him. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, thank you. But I did not ask him. I probably would have, honestly. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of pushy. I probably been like, whoa, bro, come on, let's do this thing. I'm really cool.
I know I dropped hints to him. I'm like, man,
yeah,
she's gonna make a great squire to some knight someday. You know, you better snatch that up. Yeah. And it was really funny. I dropped those kind of comments for like a month to Sir Killian, knowing full well that this one over here was just like, how do I get him to ask me? I want him to ask me. It's like, ooh, pick me. And
I was a little pathetic, okay? In honesty, like behind closed doors, I was pretty pathetic about it. Like, that was just my dude, man. I knew. I was like, he's my spirit animal. So I mean,
just the passive aggressive subliminal messages, like
like you stare him down at practice and be like,
daggers, when are you gonna ask me? When are you gonna ask me? When are you? Yeah. And then Thohall's over here, like, just like, she would make a great squire. You should totally,
Right. Totally.
She doesn't know any better.
She doesn't know. She still doesn't. It's okay. Love you, Knigget. So the day he asked me, I'd only actually been in armor for 4 months.
3 times? 3 or 4 times total.
Yeah. So not very much. So I don't know. I think maybe he was as desperate as I was. I'm not sure. So when he asked, he said, Vigdis, I want to offer you this thing, but I want you to think about it. And we're cooking midnight bacon together, by the way. Setting the scene here. And I look at him and I'm like, you want me to think about what? And he's like, I want to give you a man-at-arms belt. And I was like, I don't have to think about it. I know my answer, dude. And he's like, no, seriously, I want you to think about it. And I was like, I've been thinking about it. I know. So yeah, that's my story. So yeah, kind of a little bit of both, probably.
Yeah. So my story actually is kind of the complete opposite. I honestly didn't know who I wanted to be squire to. I just knew I wanted to be a squire. And so, honestly, at that point, when Duke Damon approached me, I was starting to get the man, the myth, the legend of Duke Damon, and so it kind of just blew me away, and I was absolutely like, yes, absolutely. To me, in my eyes, and still in my eyes to this day, best of the best, there's Damon, and so when he approached me, I'm like, yeah, I want to learn from that guy. But to be honest, like I wasn't like actively pursuing. It was kind of one of those things. If it happens, it happens, and it's going to be great. So yeah, I mean, and when we hit it off, and I remember a road trip down to oh man, it was a Thousand Eyes event there in Idaho Falls, and Damon was Crown Prince at the time, and we went down for this event, and it was just me and him in the car for 6 hours each way, and we got to talking, and we're just like, holy cow. When he got knighted was actually my 18th birthday. So it was like, wow, like actually on the day, which was really cool. And then, we bonded, and we found out that we had all of this in common. And so, I just love the guy, and I don't think I could have been Squire to anybody else. I mean, I know I couldn't have been Squire to anybody else. It was like the fates had aligned and the gods had sent, a big blonde Viking at me, and
fate. It was determined prior,
right?
Yeah, you two were going to be Squire to who you were knighted. That's crazy. So switching topics, what do you think as a Squire is the most important virtue to have?
Ooh.
Go for it, Vigdis.
That's a tough one.
It's deep. I like it.
Uh-huh. If you have an idea, go ahead. I kind of have to think about this one. They're all so important. It kills me. Like seriously, I am a huge believer in the fact that knights should be all things.
We both are definitely big believers in the knights should be everything. It should be this, heavens opened up, clouds have parted, the quest light comes down, and there's your knight.
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing would have to be honesty, to be honest, because it kind of branches off into a couple of different things. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with those that you deal with on a daily basis. You got to be honest in your fighting. Yeah. And you've got to, because at the end of the day, be honest with yourself and what you believe in and hold true. I think that's the biggest thing about a knight, is because if you don't hold to your beliefs, then and what you hold true, then you're not a knight, in my opinion. Oh no, your cup's broken.
My cup's broken.
So
yours not.
I'm not gonna say it anyway. But and that's kind of where I believe in it. There during the COVID times, during the plague times, there was I was a knight marshal, and there was a policy in place. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but it went against my core as a person, and I didn't want to have to force something onto somebody that I didn't believe in. And like I said, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into politics or any of that. I'm just using it as an example. And so it's just like, if I don't believe in it, why should I force somebody else to believe in it? That, to me, it's not knightly. And that's not, to what's the word I'm looking for? I know we've had this conversation in depth.
Oh my God, we've had this conversation a few times.
We're also soundboards for each other.
Yeah, we have a lot of late midnight discussions about
yeah.
SCA shit. I don't know. I guess to me, honestly, just chivalry as a whole. Going back to, I believe that knights should be all things. I really believe that chivalry is really the only word that can encompass everything I think a knight should be. I think they should be leaders. I think that they should be kind. I think that they should be understanding. I think they should stick up for the little guy. My gosh.
This just calls that oath
Yeah.
from
God.
Dragonheart. Does anybody
Like-
remember that movie? If anybody knows that oath from Dragonheart, please like say it right
Right?
now, because like that is
Please.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I'm almost getting a little bit emotional thinking about it. And I don't really
Something
know
like
why.
a knight is sworn to valor, a knight is sworn to truth, his might upholds the weak. I swear to God, I gotta get this like tattooed on myself because that
Yep.
freaking oath right there, man. I mean, that just gets my heart pumping.
Yeah,
So that one
seriously.
and the one from Kingdom of Heaven.
I don't know if I know that
Yes.
one.
Oh, yep. I mean, Jesus, they're both amazing.
You know, to defend the weak against evil.
Mhm.
And it kind of goes on, and it's real quick. And then the slap at the end, and that's for you to
The
remember
buffer.
your vows. Yeah.
Yes.
That one gets me every time.
Yep.
I'm over there just kind of grinning, quietly to myself as we watch that one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it's hard to say the one thing that's the most important because I think they're all the most important. I don't think you can be a knight without all of the things.
That's a very interesting way. Alrighty, let's see what's our next. That's deep. I didn't think we were gonna get that deep.
Right?
oh yeah.
Very deep.
Deep end.
Alrighty.
It's always the deep end with us.
Where is that question? Okay. So this one right here. Most every fighter has a shot they are known for. What is your favorite shot? What is the favorite shot? What is your favorite shot? What shot are you known for?
Flat snap.
Flat snap.
We've been told we've got some pretty wicked flat snaps.
Okay.
So as you know this, John, Duke Damon has been fighting with this little square shield, right?
Oh, the pizza box, yeah.
Yeah, and he hates catching flat snaps for me on that.
Mhm.
He just feels it in his whole arm, and he'll talk about that all the time. So he tries not to get hit with those. I don't know if I'm necessarily known for a shot, but
Flat snaps.
my favorite shot though is kind of like that Molinet shot.
I would say
it's Duke Damon's favorite. He's one that he taught us, and in fact, at the last event, I actually caught him with one. Sorry, Damon. But through an off body, a real slow moving off body to get him kind of moving, and he went to the right, and it was just the perfect angle. So I brought it in and then just rolled it right back up, and then just right in the face.
see, I would say you're famous for your flat snaps as well because you almost always lead with a flat snap. And they're really hard.
And they're really hard.
They are.
Why are you giving information?
Oh, sorry. No one is supposed to know that.
It's not
Don't pay
always.
attention.
It was pointed out to me, and somehow we've changed that. So
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like throwing flat snaps. I think they're fun.
Well,
she's got a
I think-
pretty wicked flat
I
snap.
can't remember what night said it, but I want to say this was a long ago conversation that I had. They said that the flat snap was probably our fastest and most powerful shot that we throw in the SCA.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
bar none.
Yep.
So, and that probably really, defines what we do as fighters in the SCA is the flat snap.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're almost out of time, so I think we're gonna wrap up with Her Excellency Annora's favorite question of all time.
I literally was scrambling to unmute myself so I could flip you off verbally.
Do you want to ask it?
Okay, I will totally take this up. This is literally, I love this question so very, very much. How has the SCA prepared you for the zombie apocalypse?
We totally got that
I
on
know,
lock.
right?
They've prepped it. They've prepped it.
We're not quite, okay, if we're being honest. But we do live in Montana. There's lots of guns up here, okay? Just saying.
True.
My gosh, I don't know. I feel like we do just fine.
I mean, I'm not called Thohall the Hunter for nothing, so.
Yeah, so we both know how to hunt. We both know how to fish. Leather, sewing, hitting things in the head with sticks. And hitting things in the head with sticks. And
Things that go pew-pew.
gathering things. We could probably find some good food sources there. I feel like we could make our own shelter. We watch a lot of Alone too, so that helps.
You guys are people after my own heart.
Right?
Yeah, we're real good at sitting on the couch with a
Bowl of ice cream.
watching Alone, talking shit the whole time,
It's
going,
true.
why are they building a shelter like that? No, that's
Right.
not how you're supposed to do that. As,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, I think we'd fare just fine. The things that we can't do or couldn't do, I feel like our family would kind of fill in the gaps on that one. I mean, we have a remote. She's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. I think we'd be all right.
Her Excellency Penelope,
Yep.
she's got things locked down. I mean, they basically would send us guys out to go get, not to sound macho or anything, but basically would send us out to go get what we needed and come back and 8-course meal,
Right.
I mean, off of a small little propane burner.
I think our biggest hurdle in the zombie apocalypse, we're kind of lazy. So that would kind of suck.
Biggest hurdle.
we might get over that.
We don't run.
Yeah, we don't run.
We really don't run.
That's fair. I don't run either. I hate
Vikings
running.
don't run. Vikings smash.
Yeah, I mean, so
You are a wall.
yeah,
Yes, essentially.
yeah.
Oh, it was creeping
Man,
up
you
on me.
guys and you're dying.
That's contagious. Stop it.
Oh gosh.
Plague bears, right there. That
I'm not.
guy
Oh,
hurt.
I've been
I'm not
fighting it
contagious.
all day trying not to.
Oh no. I'm
Oh.
not contagious. I'm just.
All right, so whenever my crew here can tell me what the dates are and what our next show is.
Good luck. They're going crazy.
I swear to
Yeah,
God, everyone's like,
you guys, if
I would flick him.
They're just arguing back and forth trying to figure out what the dates are.
Well, I may not know the dates, but I think you guys have got an episode of 3 Former Fat Guys coming up.
Yep, we've got 3 former fat guys coming up as our next show.
Yeah, an episode of Coffee with Cal, and then a wonderful episode of Road to Retention with Her Excellency Remote. Sorry, selfishly plug because we love you.
Love you.
And I don't know all the dates, but yeah, I think that's what you guys got coming up. And
Oh,
really
here it
look
is.
forward-
Okay, so
There it is.
next Sunday, November 6th, 9 a.m. is Coffee with Cal. And then
Ooh.
we've got also on Sunday at 6 p.m. is Road to Retention. And oh,
Yeah,
geez,
those
that's
guys.
me.
Yay!
Oh man,
Oh boy. I should know that.
Wait, you forgot you were going to be on that?
I don't even know what I was doing today, man.
Swing and a miss, bro. Swing and a miss.
I'll hit him in the head next time I see him.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
please
that-
do.
Hopefully it
Preferably inside
resets
of the
me.
thigh.
Yep, I'll make sure she videos it, and we'll play it on
Send it to
the
you, yeah.
on the next Ask the Squires.
Oh, apparently it's on the calendar, and I never read the calendar. Yep, that one's on me. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Lady Vigdis and Lordship Thohall. Thank you to Effin, the tech guy, and Her Excellency Annora for helping out in the background. I really hope she's flipping me off right now because she hates being called Her Excellency.
Indubitably.
I met her for 5 minutes before the show. She is absolutely
flipping
doing
you
that to you right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But thank you very much
We're
for
gonna make that a
joining us, and thank you for your questions, and we hope you have a wonderful night.